Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Maths Equation, and today we are going to discuss practice set number 1.2 of the geometry. So let's start. This is sixth example from the practice set number 1.2. Now question is that find out QP by using the information given in the figure. Now which information is given is very important. So look at this sign over here. These two sign indicates that this ray n cube is the bisector of angle n, and in a triangle MNP, ray NQ is the bisector of angle N. That means we can easily use angle bisector theorem. Okay. Now this MN is given, that is 25, this NP is given 40, and MQ is given 14. So how much is the length of the QP? So by using angle bisector theorem, we can easily write in a triangle MNP, in this triangle MNP, with the star we will write here, a ray NQ is the bisector of angle N. Now that ray NQ is the bisector of angle N. So let's use the angle bisector theorem. Therefore, by the angle bisector theorem. Now what is that angle bisector theorem? The bisector of an angle of a triangle divides the opposite side in the ratio of remaining two sides. Now which is the opposite side? MP is the opposite sides, and ratio of these two segments, that means MQ upon QP, is equal to the ratio of remaining two sides. So let's write down that ratio over here. MQ upon QP is equal to MN upon NP. Now this is the ratio. Now these two ratio will be equal to each other. So let's put down the values over there. So MQ is 14 upon QP we have to find out, so keep as it is. MN is 25 upon NP is 40. So by making cross multiplication, 25 into QP is equal to that 14 into 40. So QP is equal to 14 into 40 upon 25. So 5 5s are 25, 5 8s are 40. Now this one, here it is, 5 1s are 5. We can write here 5 1s are 5 again here. Okay, so 8 minus 5, that will be a 3. So take a 0 over here. If we are taking 0, that means now point will be here. Okay, and 5 6 are 30. So the which are the remaining things? So QP is equal to, that will be 14 into 1.6, and that answer will be QP is equal to 22.4. Okay, in this way easily we can find out the length of QP. How simple is this? So we have to find out that QP. So by using angle bisector theorem, we can easily find out that QP. How simple is this? So let's move toward the next question. This is question number 7 from the practice set number 1.2. Now in which line AB parallel line CD parallel line EF or FE. Now if BD is equal to 8, DF is equal to 4, this AC is equal to 12 and CE is equal to X. Then question is that find out X, and not only X, we have to find out this AE, length of the segment AE, and that length of the segment AE, that means this AC plus this CE, and CE means X. So first of all we have to find out the X, as these three lines are parallel to each other. So let's find out that X. We know that property of three parallel lines and their transversal. So we can write here in figure. So what is there in a figure? That segment AB parallel segment CD parallel segment FE or EF, and what? These two lines, look at these lines, this BF and AE, and line BF and line AE are the transversal. Okay. Now if these are the transversal, these two lines are the transversal, then we know that property of three parallel lines and their transversal. If suppose these are the three parallel lines and these are the two transversal, then ratio of intercept made by a three parallel line on a first transversal is equal to the ratio of corresponding intercept made by the same parallel line on the second transversal. That means ratio of these two is equal to the ratio of corresponding intercepts. So by using that property we can easily write, if these three lines are parallel and these two lines are the transversal, therefore by the property of three parallel lines and their transversal, okay, and their transversal, we can write here. Now which are the intercept? Now these two intercept, ratio of these two intercepts. So BD upon DF, BD upon DF is equal to, now which are the corresponding intercept? This AC and CE upon AC is equal to AC upon CE. Okay. So let's put down the values in this. So BD is 8 upon 4 is equal to AC is given, that is 12 upon X. So by making cross multiplication, that will be 8 into X, that is 8X is equal to 12 into 4. So X is equal to 12 into 4 upon 8. It will goes to denominator. So here it is 4 1s are 4, 4 2s are 8. Again 2 1s are 2, 2 6 are 12. That means X is equal to 6. Okay. Now this is the length or value of that X. So we have to find out that X. Now X is there now. So let's find out the AE now. And we know that point A, point C and point E. Now these 3 points are collinear. Okay. And if these 3 points are collinear, therefore total AE is equal to AC plus CE. AC plus C. So let's put down the values here. AC is equal to 12 plus CE is x, and we just find out that value of that x. So 12 plus 6, that means AE is equal to 18. In this way easily we can find out that AE. How simple is this? We can use that 3 parallel lines and their transversal, and we can easily find out the AE. How simple is this? So let's move toward the next question. Now this is question number 8 from the practice set number 1.2. Now in which, look at this triangle. In a triangle LMN, this ray MT is the bisector of an angle LMN or angle M. Okay. Now if it is a bisector, length LM is given, that is a 6, MN is equal to 10, TN is equal to 8, and question is that find out LT. That means we have to find out the length of this segment, and as we know that if bisector is given, that means we have to use the angle bisector property. So let's use that angle bisector property in that figure. So in triangle LMN, in this triangle a ray MT is the bisector of angle M, is the bisector of angle M, or you can write LMN. So if it is a bisector, then we can use angle bisector property. Therefore by angle bisector theorem or property, whatever, by angle bisector theorem. Now what will be that angle bisector theorem? We can write here angle bisector theorem. Now what is there? This ray MT divides opposite side in the ratio of remaining two sides. That means ratio of this LT and TN. LT upon TN is equal to LM upon MN. So LT upon TN is equal to LM upon MN. Okay, so let's put down the values here. So LT we have to find out, so keep as it is, upon TN is given, that is 8, LM is given 6 upon 10. So by making cross multiplication, LT into 10, that means 10 into LT is equal to 6 into 8. So LT is equal to 6 into 8 upon 10. Okay. So 6 into 8, that means LT is equal to 48 upon 10. So simplify this, and that answer will be LT is equal to 4.8. How simple is this? In this way easily we can use that angle bisector theorem to find out the length of LT. Done? So let's move toward the next question. So this is question number 9 from the practice set number 1.2. Again, in which we have to use the angle bisector property. Now in a triangle ABC, this ray BD bisect angle ABC. Okay. Now that means this is a bisector, and if bisector is given, that means we have to use the angle bisector property. Okay. Now if AB is equal to x, BC is equal to x plus 5, this DC is equal to x plus 2, and AD is equal to x minus 2, then question is that find out x is equal to how much. That means we have to find out the value of that x. So let's write down that answer similar to the previous one. So in figure or in a triangle ABC, look at this triangle ABC, a ray, now which ray is given? That ray BD is the bisector of angle ABC. Angle ABC or only angle B. Okay, if it is a bisector, then by angle bisector property or theorem, whatever. Now by angle bisector property. Now what is that angle bisector property? This ray BD divides opposite side in the ratio of remaining 2. That means AD upon DC. Look at this. AD upon DC is equal to. Now which are the remaining two sides? AB and BC. So ratio of that two remaining side AB upon BC. So let's put down the values in this. So AD is equal to x minus 2 upon x plus 2. Okay, is equal to. Now AB is given, that is x plus upon x plus 5. Okay. So by making again cross multiplication, that will be x into x plus 2. Now this multiplication, cross multiplication is equal to, now this is x minus 2 into x plus 5. So solve this bracket. X into x, that will be a x square, plus x into 2, that will be 2x, is equal to. Now we have to multiply this second bracket by each term of the first. That means x into x plus 5. Now which is the second term now? Minus 2. So minus 2 into x plus 5, like this way. So keep this as it is, x square plus 2x is equal to, now x into x, that will be x square. Now plus x into 5, that will be a 5x. Okay, this minus plus will become minus 2 into x, that will be 2x, minus 2 5s are 10. In this way we can easily solve that bracket. Now look at this, x square will get cancelled here. Now which are the remaining things? This is a 2x is equal to, now subtraction of these two, 5x minus 2x, that means 3x minus 10. So we have to find out the value of this x. So transfer this 3x to the LHS, and that will be 2x minus 3x is equal to minus 10 as it is. Now with 3x minus 2x, now this will be a minus. So answer will be definitely minus x. Why? 3x minus 2x. Okay, sign of the larger one. So x minus x is equal to minus 10, and this minus will become plus. So that will be x is equal to 10. In this way easily we can complete this question number 9. How simple is this? So let's move toward the next question. Now this is question number 10 from the practice set number 1.2, in which we have to complete this activity. Now question is what? Question is, in figure x is any point in the interior of the triangle. Look at this x, which is in the interior of the triangle DEF, suppose. Okay. Point x is joined to the vertices of a triangle. Now look at this point x, and it's joined to the vertices of the triangle. Then segment PQ parallel segment DE. Look at this segment, PQ parallel to DE, and this segment QR parallel EF. Okay. Then fill in the blanks to prove the segment PR parallel segment. Look at this, segment PR parallel segment DF. Okay, as if we want to show or we want to prove that any line is a parallel to a side of a triangle, then we have to use the converse of basic proportionality theorem. So look at the last line of these two. Okay, PR parallel to DF. Here is PR parallel DF, and by converse of basic proportionality theorem. Now what is that converse of basic proportionality theorem? Okay, now if a line divides any two sides of a triangle in equal ratio, that means then that line will be parallel to a third side of the triangle. That is the converse of basic proportionality theorem. So let's use that converse of basic proportionality theorem. But before that, two lines are given, two segments are given parallel. So one by one we are taking that triangles. Mind well, even though it is an activity, we must know how to solve that example. Then and then only we can complete that activity. So let's take that first one. So in a triangle XDE, now where that triangle is, look at this triangle XDE. Now for our convenience we can draw that triangle like here. Look at this, okay, and this one is here. So X is here, D is here, and E is here. Okay, in this triangle XDE, P is here and Q is here. Now this PQ is parallel to DE. So if it is a parallel to DE, so look at the first line, PQ parallel DE, and we have to fill that first, fill in the blanks which is there, and that is given. In example, PQ parallel DE is given. So the first one will be given. Okay, now this is given. Now if this line is parallel to DE, that means we have to use the basic proportionality theorem. Now what is that basic proportionality theorem? If a line parallel to a side of a triangle intersect remaining two sides in a two distinct point, then the line divides this side in equal ratio. Now which is the first ratio? We have to start from this XP upon PD. So look at here, XP upon PD. Okay, done. Now which is the another side? We have to start again from the XQ X. So XQ upon QE. XQ upon QE is given, and this is equation number 1 by basic proportionality theorem. Then how simple is this? Now look at the second equation or second triangle. Which triangle is given? Second triangle XEF. Now where is that triangle? XEF. Now look at this triangle XEF, in which this QR is parallel to EF. Again QR parallel to EF, which is given. So we can write here given. Done. Now let's use the basic proportionality theorem just like the equation number 1, and look at this triangle XEF. We have to start from this X. So XQ upon QE, here XQ upon QE is equal to, now which is the another side? Now here XR upon RF. XR upon RF. So in this way again we have to write that reason. So again we can write basic proportionality theorem. Okay, now this is equation number 2. XQ upon QE is equal to XR upon RF. Now this is equation number 2. Now look at the equation number 1 and 2. Now in equation number 1, XP upon PD is equal to XQ upon QE, and same XQ upon QE, that ratio is equal to XR upon RF. That means first ratio is equal to the second, and the second ratio is equal to the third. That means first ratio will be equal to the third one. That means XP upon PD should be equal to XR upon RF, and this is what we have to write there. So first ratio is XP upon PD. So we can write here XP upon PD equal to, now which is the third one? XR upon RF. XR upon RF from equation 1 and 2. Now look at these two ratios here. XP upon PD is equal to XR upon RF. Again, we can draw that little figure over here. Look at this. Suppose, now which one? This angle is here. X is here now, D is here, and F is here. So this is the line PR. This PR is, now look at the ratio here. This XP upon PD is equal to XR upon RF. That means this line PR divides the sides, any two sides, divide the side of this triangle in equal ratios. Now, if such a type of the ratios are there, that means this is the converse of basic proportionality theorem. So, therefore, segment PR parallel segment DF by converse of basic proportionality theorem. How simple is this? So, let's move toward the next question. This is last example from the practice set number 1.2. Okay. Now, in this example, look at this triangle ABC. Now, in this triangle ABC, this ray BD is the bisector of angle ABC, and this ray CE is the bisector of angle ACB. One more thing is given, that segment AB congruent segment AC. That means this is isosceles triangle in which side AB parallel side, congruent side AC. And the question is that if this much is information is given, we have to prove that whether this AD is parallel to BC. Okay, we have to prove this AD parallel to BC. And as we know that if we want to show any line parallel to a side of a triangle, at that time we have to use converse of basic proportionality theorem. Now what we have to prove at that time? We should prove this ratio AE upon EB is equal to AD upon DC. This ratio should be equal to each other, and then that line will be parallel to the BC. So let's prove that line AD is parallel to BC. So in figure, or in a triangle ABC, with the star we will write a ray. Now look at that ray. Which ray is there? Look at this ray. CE bisect angle ACB. Look at this. Ray CE bisect angle ACB, and if this is the bisector of angle ACB, therefore by angle bisector theorem. Now what is that angle bisector theorem? The bisector of an angle of a triangle divides opposite side in the ratio of remaining two sides. That means this AE upon EB is equal to AC upon BC. Okay. Therefore, AE upon EB is equal to AE upon EB is equal to, which are the remaining two sides of the triangle? AC upon BC. Now this is equation number first by using angle bisector theorem. Now similarly we will use the theorem of angle bisector here in case of this ray BD. So we can write here, similarly, now what is there? A ray BD bisect angle ABC. Look at this angle ABC. This ray BD bisect angle ABC. Therefore, by angle bisector theorem, Now what is that angle bisector theorem again? This ray BD divides opposite side in the ratio of remaining two sides. That means AD upon DC is equal to AB upon BC. So that equation number second will be here, AD upon DC is equal to AB upon BC. Okay. So look at this, AD upon DC is equal to AB upon BC. These two, ratio of these two segments is equal to ratio of remaining two sides. Okay. Now what we have to prove here? We have to prove this AE upon EB is equal to AD upon DC. Now look at this equation number first. AE upon EB is equal to AC upon BC. Okay. And that AD upon DC is here. Now we just want to show this LHS of the both equation, that should be equal. Okay. Now to show that LHS equal, RHS should be equal again. So which is the RHS? AC upon BC. Here it is again AB upon BC. That means denominator of the both equation is the same. But in case of a numerator, this numerator is not same. So but that condition is given. What is that? We can write AD upon DC is equal to, instead of this BC, we can write AC upon BC. BC as it is, but instead of that AB we can write AC. Now why this is so? This is equation number second. Okay, and we have to write this one. What is that? That AB is equal to AC. AB is equal to AC. This segment AB is equal to or congruent segment AC. Now this is given in example. Both are congruent to each other. That means instead of this AB we can write AC. Now look at the equation number first and second, in which RHS is the same. And if RHS is the same, then LHS will be automatically same. So therefore, now which is the LHS of the first equation? So AE upon EB is equal to, now which is the LHS of the second equation? This AD upon DC. Okay, and just write down the reason here. From equation first and second. Okay, now what is there in the first equation and in the second? This AE upon EB is equal to AC upon BC, and the same AC upon BC is equal to AD upon DC. That means these two ratios will be equal to each other. Now look at these two ratios in a figure. AE upon EB, first one, is equal to AD upon DC. AD upon DC. And we know the converse of basic proportionality theorem. Now what is that theorem? If any line, look at this AD, divides any two sides of the triangle in equal ratio, now this is equal ratio, then that line, that means AD, is a parallel to the third side. This is the converse of basic proportionality theorem. That means now, therefore, by converse of basic proportionality theorem, what will be there? If these two ratios are equal, then this line AD will be parallel to the BC. Therefore, segment ED parallel segment BC. In this way, easily we can prove that ED is parallel to BC. How simple is this? By using converse of basic proportionality theorem and angle bisector theorem. This much is enough in this video. If you like this video, share it and subscribe my channel Maths Equation.